Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody. Sorry we had a few little things we had to fix, but welcome to the start of the Speed Souls Bloodborne All Bosses tournament. I hope you guys are ready for this because I sure as heck am. So, here we've got the first qualifier round, which is the winner will go against a Hattie, and this is I guess I should preface this. This is a single stage double elimination tournament. You have to winner does or loser does not go home. You get another shot. It's a really fun, really uh, good way for us to do this category. We've done it in the past, and it's a lot of fun. You guys are going to see speed, you're going to see a lot of memes, and you're just going to see some good stuff in general. But yeah, on the left we got ImpactfulForest. He's a newer runner, and he's actually a world record holder in 1.0 any percent. And then we've also got lolblanxz on the right, who's a also a practically brand new runner right out the gate, and but he's very talented. I think he actually has a record in Demon Souls remake, the new one. And so we got some speedy guys here, but they're kind of newer to Bloodborne. But I'm very excited to watch this match. It's gonna be juicy. I'm ready. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and count the boys down, and we're gonna get going. So guys, go ahead and get on finalized contract. And once we got that going, I'm gonna count you down from 5. So starting now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I hope I started the timer at the right time. But yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. I hope you guys are gonna have fun watching this. It's been a it's been a long road to get here, but it's gonna be good. So, um, some things to note of this tournament. Um, it's going to be judged off in-game time (IGT), which we've got a real-time timer here, but that's just for all intents and purposes for you guys in the crowd. We'll go off of IGT, which is in-game time, and we'll be able to check that at the end. Um, what else? There are some different typical setups in Bloodborne, as far as hardware, since we've now have the PS5, and there's also hard drives and SSDs. A lot of people have some different setups, so you might see a little bit of different load times across this whole tournament. But for the most part, everybody's got SSDs, which is the big thing, and because you don't want to have those 45 second load times. But yeah, so the category is all bosses, no clipping, so we're not using the cookie wolf skip. I'm glad. He's not a nice guy. But yeah, so pretty much how the run starts, we got our guys going and grabbing these vials, and then they're gonna go to the dream and grab their weapons. As if any of you guys have watched Bloodborne, it's pretty obvious. We literally use the cover weapon. It's the saw cleaver. It's fast. It does good damage for as much damage as it uses, and it's really good at building beast meter, which we'll get into that later. But so what they did, they went ahead and grabbed that and a pistol for pistols for parrying for the most part, and doing some other cool stuff. We're actually some really cool tech you'll see with the pistol throughout this run. So, oh shoot, you know what? I don't think you guys
Oh,
could even hear
shoot.
the game.
You know what?
I'm new to restreaming.
I don't think you guys could even hear the game because I'm new to restreaming. Let me know if you guys can hear it because I'm still good at this. I'm learning myself. I apologize if you couldn't hear it. I think we're good now. So we're coming up on the first skip. It's going to be sewer skip. You can hear it now. You can hear the game. Apologize if you couldn't hear it. I think I'm louder. Okay. Work with me, boys. I think we're good now. But yeah. So okay. I apologize for that little technical difficulty, but I think we're good now, guys. So we just got to sewer skip, which is the first major skip in the game. It's actually one of the largest in the game as well. It's saves about 40 seconds, and it's not easy to start off. It's really not. It's kind of a big challenge, you know, to learn it. I always tell new runners, you know, don't necessarily get hung on it, but it's once you get it down, it's really fast. So Blanxz is go ahead. He's entering the first boss, which is Gascoigne. And I'm not kidding, guys. This is the hardest boss in the game. No joke. Mostly because you haven't leveled and you have no item. But there's some pretty cool strats you can do. Blanxz is go ahead and he's utilizing backstabs and Molotovs, which is pretty much standard.
What's that smell?
And Gascoigne is very, very aggressive. He is pretty much the first boss that teaches you this isn't Dark Souls. He will punish you if you try to run away from him. And you can actually use this quite to your advantage in the fight. By staying aggressive, you can stay in his face and do some pretty cool damage. Now, this extended axe form, ooh, that's not fun. So that reality really doesn't exist in Gascoigne's arena. Funny things happened. You just saw him try to go for a visceral. He phased through him. Insane. But Blanxz, being as good as he is, just beasted him down anyway. Very nice job. And we've got Forest entering the fight as well. So typically, the strat is to get him on the stairs. The reason you get him on the stairs, I kind of mentioned that his arena doesn't, physics don't apply. Well, same thing goes for on the stairs. It makes it even more distorted. Bullets go backwards, and typically you can use it to your advantage. Blanxz here, he's actually just grabbing the blood gem rune, or I don't know, blood gem tool. I don't know what the name of it is actually. But it's a tool very much to let you put some gems, which are very vital to our damage in this run. And you'd know that if you ever seen some unrestricted runs. And Forest has third phase Gascoigne, he can be kind of memey. Alright, nice job by both the guys. Ooh, and Forest just showed us a salty gesture, which, if you guys didn't know, Bloodborne was a launch Bloodborne title, or Bloodborne was a launch Bloodborne title, yes. PS4 title, and they really wanted to show off the gyroscope in the controller, so if you hold the X button and move your controller, you do a gesture. Well, we don't typically do that, but we are pressing the button so fast, because we're speedrunners, that it thinks we're just holding it down, and then you get a gesture, and then something bad happens. So, yeah. But Blanxz just went ahead and talked to Alfred, who's actually a really neat NPC, got a really good French voice, and he'll give you some fire paper. It's going to be good for later. Fire paper, same thing as, resin in Dark Souls, and it's very good. Forest is also coming up on Alfred. These dogs before this door here, very scary. I always joked that that all good Gascoignes die to dogs or old Yarnum skip. And it's true, because it does. But yeah, Alfred unfortunately has to be all the way down there. And he throws you the fire paper and you go. So, speaking of old Yarnum skip, here comes blanxz. He's going to be doing this version. And actually, he had pulled up his quit out menu. Which is a good strat in case you miss it, because it can be very very tricky. But yeah, it's this is a more difficult skip. There's been old Yarnum skip, old new old. There's 100 different versions, but that's pretty much the current version that we use. And Forrest is actually going to grab the lamp, which is not a bad idea, because in this newer version you can die. If you don't hit it, you die, and then you have a minute and a half to run back all the way down here. Not fun. So at the bottom of Old Yarnum, you saw blanxz grab some beast blood pellets. Nice, Forrest hit the Old Yarnum skip as well. Very good. But beast blood pellets. So I can't really overstate actually how vital they are in this run. Beast blood pellets are more or less our quote unquote RTSR equivalent, but it's actually on a more of a, you do damage to build it up. So you get a 20% buff when you eat it, and then it gradually builds up with a meter in the middle. And as you'll see here, blanxz fighting BSB, it gradually grows as he attacks. So he's actually using a strat against BSB, Blood Starving Beast, that uses cocktails. Blood cocktails, it's thirsty for blood, it's going for it. And it's a very good way to do that strat. And I saw Forrest got caught by a wolf. That's actually not uncommon. For those wolves are very, very aggressive. But he did grab the lamp, so he's actually can get back there quite quickly. Mute my phone. So after BSB, you're going to see blanxz go up here. He's already got the hunter set, which I didn't really mention, but that's actually a nice end game armor set that you can use throughout the whole run. Pretty nice. And he's going to drop down to the workshop. Ooh. And Forrest is having a little bit of trouble at Old Yarnum, but he's got that lamp. It's not that big of a deal. Old Yarnum skip is one of the harder skips in the run, and in my opinion, the skips that kill you, for the most part, are the worst ones, because you can lose time, a lot of time. But you can do stuff like grabbing lamps and stuff, and actually, not lose that much time. And at this point in the jump, it doesn't matter if you lose echoes. It's not really a big deal. All right, he got it. And he already grabbed the, ooh. Yeah, there's a little hole there. There's a little hole there you gotta jump. Now you got this, Forrest. I believe in him. He's gonna come roaring back. I already know. I know Forrest. But yeah, blanxz, he went ahead, and I didn't get to mention it, but he went ahead and grabbed a deal in more or less the dream, but it's in the real world. And he grabbed a thing called the 1/3 of umbilical cord, which, as you can guess, there's actually 4 of them in the game. Thank you, Miyazaki and Math. So use that to see the final boss. And he also grabbed a doll set, which you can sell for a bunch of echoes, which is souls, essentially. And you saw him doing some funky stuff on the ladder. That's actually called ladder work. It's found by Dank Oyster, and it's an awesome glitch that does not get utilized in this run near enough, because there's no good spots to do it in this category. Pretty much you're tricking the game into thinking you are on the ladder. So right now, lolblanxz's game thinks he's on the ladder. But no, he's running up to a boss, which is the third boss in the run, Amelia. Pretty standard boss. There's a pretty good strat that everybody uses. And it's pretty much a scripted boss. So you just do a certain sequence of attacks, breaking limbs, which is a mechanic we haven't really talked about. Alright, Forrest got past the wolf. Nice. Breaking limbs. It's kind of a mechanic in this game. Very crucial to a lot of boss strats in this run. So pretty much you can break limbs and it'll stagger the boss, as you can see with Amelia. And there's another cool little side mechanic that we'll get into a little bit later, but called broken limb damage. And we're watching Forrest on the left here. He's doing the same cocktail strat. Typically, you use 2 cocktails, and you're trying to go for some backstabs here. He's gonna get a visceral since he missed one. And we got blanks passing Amelia.
Oh,
All right, Peanut, I'm here.
Well, hello.
Hi.
It's good to see you. Commute must have been hard.
It was the day. We'll just leave it at that.
Joining me now is Mama Souls, who is an accomplished runner herself, and she knows this run and very well, so much that she hasn't done it in a while.
Hello, everybody.
But yeah, what game is this? Bloodborne. The best. Born. But yeah, Blank's got Amelia down, and now I didn't even catch it. Oh, ooh, what happened there? I actually missed it. Curious why he's going back up. But anyway, Forrest is going to be doing that same deal. Oh, he actually missed the elevator. I've done that before. It's not fun. You're going to be going down and grabbing that 1/3 of the umbilical cord and doing all the fun stuff. You can actually do a cool little gesture. If you've done this in a casual playthrough going down to this thing, it's a heck.
It is a cute thing.
You see that? Oh, there's a door down there. I could make this jump. Nah, that's not how it works. But yeah, and there's also some. You can like grab a thing. There's a fake doll right there, which you'll see the doll.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what Blanks is doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but we're gonna find out.
He must have missed. That's
He
what
must
I'm
not-
saying. He must have missed ladder work, maybe.
Perhaps.
Either way, he's fixing to head down to the door now.
All's well that ends well. So yeah, Blanks is on his way. He's just gonna be grabbing some stuff on the way to the forest. The
I ruined it.
area, the area, not the person. We gotta make that distinction. Marked by accident, maybe. On the fly routing, yeah. So the cool thing about ladder warp is you can literally do it with any animation. You can do it with a trick. Some people like to do it with a weapon toggle. Apparently you can even do it with a vial, but I'm not wasting my vials that early. You know. And on the right, you'll see Blanks. He's actually at this door. This dead guy. He's just chilling, and he's opening the door for you and talking to you. But and he'll even give you a madman's knowledge. But you saw him pop a thing. It was actually this gold gem
That you get from Amelia.
that you get from Amelia, and it actually comes pretty handy for the next boss after Amelia, which is Parl. Good old Parl. Little old boomer fact: this category back in my day used to be called early Parl, because at one point they used to do Parl later and do yard rule skip twice, which yeah, no one wants to do that twice. And and you get bolt paper for shadows and all that, and it's just faster now. So it's just Parl. It's just the normal. And yeah, you got Forest doing the same thing, doing the nice strat. Keep her staggered. You don't let her play. You don't want her to play.
No, yeah, no. You do not want to play with Amelia, like, at all.
I would argue that many of the runners, save if they got out of the speedrun, strat, would probably not fare well. I know I wouldn't.
No. Like, you lose that shred, you're not gonna have a good time. She does not play nice.
Actually, back in the day, like, I think 1.04 and before that, or maybe even before that, you could, like, do a thing kind of like Watcher's Glitch in DS3 and Freezer. But I wasn't around, so I didn't get it. And consoles, you can't go to certain patches.
Blanxz is now on his way to the stage death. This bagman kills you and takes you into a different area where you go kill Parl so that we can get bolt paper. This is called early Parl. You have to die to get to this area early, so that's what Blanxz just did.
Just play your own game.
Force is already, he's right behind. He's coming back. He's coming back fast. He just went and grabbed those twin shards by that brain sucker. Got a little meme crow action. Canadian crow dogs. You'll see those later. And Blanxz here, he's in what's I guess it's called Hypergean Gale.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. That's why I didn't say it.
Yeah, it's essentially early Yargul, but you can't really go past a door. So this is really the only boss we can fight. And so again, Parl's a scripted boss, and he actually is a very good example, or at least the evolution of his boss strat has been a good example of the broken limb mechanic I kind of mentioned earlier. So essentially, when you break a limb, you actually can do 50% more damage to it, which we start actually utilizing in boss strats and doing some pretty wild stuff. Parl almost got away there, but...
Oh, yeah. He's another one you don't want to get away from you.
Mm-hmm. I recently did the BL4 chalices, and I fought the souped up version, and that was not a fun experience at all.
Come on, I'm sure it was great.
His legs are about the size of a pencil tip. That's all I got.
Exactly. Like, if he is not on the ground, good luck hitting his legs.
Yeah, that was a lot of death. So we didn't mention it, but Forest here, he's leveling up after Amelia before Parl, and typically you'll go and upgrade your weapon to +4, and you'll upgrade to 25 strength, 19 skill, which pretty much 25 is the soft cap, where you start seeing diminishing returns on strength and skill. But since the cleaver scales with strength better than skill, we pump strength. And then you got Blanxz. He just finished Parl, and he's going to do what we call, I guess, wood skip. I don't even know if we have a name for this skip. It's just like there.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's a skip.
It's a skip. I mean, I don't even have it on the wiki. Maybe I should, but we don't even have a name for it. But anyway, you just roll up. You just jump. Dang, Forrest got hit. Feels mad. But yeah, so pretty much through the forest area, you're just grabbing some upgrade mats, not much, but then you're going to go and fight shadows, which back in my day...
Back in my day, we actually had to fight this boss. We didn't have all this highfalutin stuff like these new runners have.
Yeah. But yeah, so not too long after they found the wolf skip that we mentioned at the beginning of the run, they also found a new way to do an old strat, which was freeze shadows. And essentially, you enter the fight out of bounds and skip the boss trigger. It's kind of and then just go wailing on them. But yeah, it used to be a very, very big reset point, and now since as the freeze has been found, the skip is kind of tricky sometimes, but for the most part is a faster, more consistent way to do the boss, and it's good for newer runners, especially because you can keep runs going.
It is very nice. I will give it that. Not having to fight shadows got rid of a huge early reset point from like what it was when runners like Peanut and myself first started. Shadows was definitely a scary point in the run to reach because you're like, hey, I have a run going, and then shadows you're like, oh no you don't.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So
Dude,
getting to freeze them is like amazing.
Yeah, and it's like at 20 minutes in, so it's like just when you're like you're already kind of invested, and it's kind of weird if you it doesn't feel good when you die there. But yeah, Blank said to do a little quick quit out, but what you do is you get up here and you do a little roll to get what we call wedged, and then you do a jump that's kind of hard. He made it look easy.
That was a very nicely done skip.
That was a very nicely done skip.
Yeah,
so then,
he did very well on that.
You jump into the arena, see the boss HP jump on the screen, and then you quit out. And then essentially it puts you back out of bounds, and you jump in, skipping the boss trigger. And because after you've activated the fight, it's the fog wall, right? And yeah, you're gonna see some good old fashioned R1 practice.
Mm-hmm. It's so bittersweet to watch this because, like, as bad as shadows are, like, they are one of my favorite fights in the entire game. So it is very bittersweet for me to, like, see this done to them. So Blank's making extremely quick work of him, and he's on his way to Rom.
Which it's a pretty quick turnaround. Blank's electing not to grab the lamp. That is what, in my opinion, a ballsy move. We will see how it plays out for him. But yeah, this is a new skip he's coming up to, which is Lunarium Key Skip, and it is pretty cool. You can do it as a YOLO version, but it's quite tricky because you're depending on a enemy, and you have to do a kind of pretty sized jump. But you can quit out and get behind this bug, and then just kind of take your time with it, which is a very nice convenience.
Should have grabbed the lamp.
Because I think back in the way back days, Stone Age and dinosaurs, there used to be two categories: no quit out and partial quit outs. And if you missed the skip and no quit out, it was a rip.
I used to speedrun this game in those days. I'm old as dirt.
I didn't say that, you did.
You see Forrest attempting the jump with the same skip, but he didn't quite turn in time, and he fell through the world, therefore you have to quit out and try again.
Which is not too bad, you pretty much can. And
Yeah,
there is a small
not a
chance
good
you can be in the infinite fall, but like I said, it's a very small chance. In worst case, you just have to run back to the spot. So yeah, Blanks is here on ROM, and really the biggest thing about ROM isn't the boss, it's the spiders. And you'll see for most of these runs, you're going to see people killing the spiders and then just going ahead and doing a strat, which is pretty scripted for the most part.
Yeah, those little spiders can heck you up, so you definitely want to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that one cycle.
That's very nice. Let's see if he gets the insta-warp.
That's the problem with one cycling ROM, is that the insta-warp is so hard to find.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
In most ROM boss fights, you're gonna get her before she teleports. You're gonna get her to third phase. So she'll skip one of her phases and go straight to the third. And like we all know where to turn to get instant warp after that. But when you get the one cycle, where do you go then? It's kind of different.
She moves around very subtly during that first phase, and unless you're really keeping track of it, it's difficult to get the one cycle. So for the most part, people will say it's not faster to get the one cycle. But it does look cool, and you get some pogs in the chant.
Yeah, you definitely it's pog. Killing her in one cycle is definitely poggers.
Yeah, for sure. All right, nice. Forest has gotten him shadows down, and he's falling right. He's right behind. As much as you're probably seeing, Blanks and Forest are not too far between. They've got a lot of load screens between it. It's hard. It's kind of difficult to discern. You know, you got the PS5 versus PS4.
They're really not that far apart when you consider how much of this run is left. True. And that anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And God forgive me, I'm about to put the commentator's curse on Blanks. He's in your Hargle, and we all know what happens when you're here.
Yes. So yeah, he's doing a quick little side track to grab a key to go to a area later, Upper Cathedral, where we'll fight some more bosses, because we're fighting all the bosses. That's right, you heard it here first. All the bosses.
Now, we didn't have a tournament last year, but we had one in 2019. And I think that we recorded like 16 deaths to 1 reborn.
Something like that.
That definitely tells you that this is a pretty heavy reset area, but in a race you can't reset and have to figure out how to continue going.
And that's why this is fun. So we just saw Blanks do Yargul skip, which he made it look pretty easy. It's one of the more difficult skips, but there is a pretty easy backup. Works most of the time. I won't say every time because it has failed me once or twice, the Pro Flow setup. But it's pretty nice. So you see Forest here, he's trying to get this skip off the quit out, and you pretty much get as many attempts as you want.
He ended up hitting the bug's leg. And if you land on its leg, it starts like turning around like you alert it. So he's got to quit out again to reset the bug so he can keep attempting the skip.
100% consistent when it works, that's right. So yeah, Blanks here, he's going to be doing another little quick thing, trying to get behind this wolf and grabbing that gem. Ooh. Yargul, where everybody's favorite enemy projectile. Hell. Mm-hmm. It's like you're playing a roguelike. And Blanks actually did got something smart there. He quit out, which is once you're behind them, it's not actually a big deal. They're not looking at you, and you can just kind of take your time and get there. But
now, Forrest is as soon as I was about to say he's struggling a little bit, he got it. You're very welcome, Forrest. Making his way to Rom now. Blanks heading into 1 reborn.
So yeah, 1 reborn definitely is a tournament killer. So we'll see how it plays out for him.
Good luck, Blanks.
Oh, he forgot to pop the pellet. But
he got the staggers, so we're good. The staggers.
The fear there is sometimes he goes crazy legs on you. So the big challenge of this fight is you have ladies up top that are shooting fireballs at you. You also got him that's doing these little corpse drops on you every once in a while, and those do a lot of damage. So between those two, you don't want to get staggered and pretty much comboed. And Blanks did a very good job here. Ooh, he actually got. That's actually a good fireball.
Blanks made it past 1 reborn on his first try, so I think we're gonna call I'm the commentator blessing is what I am.
All right, we're gonna need you to give a little blessing to Forrest. He's having a little. Oh.
Did he grab the lamp?
I believe so. So, dying to Rom, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely tricky because at this point you're kind of saving up some levels or echoes rather, for levels, and it's hard to find your blood stain in the on the lake.
It's
You did
hard
grab
to
the
see.
lamp. Very nice. Yeah, and there's a small chance it could be right on top of the spawn, which is means it's pretty much rip, but not rip for your run, but you can continue. You're definitely strong enough, but it's more of a challenge. You have to level up a little bit more later on. So blanxz is doing here a strat with the, he's going to be grabbing, killing this little, these are the equivalent of crystal lizards in Bloodborne. I think they're called Wandering Madness. But they got some chunks. You pretty much throw the cocktail to have him go over there. Don't bother me.
blanxz is gonna be doing some dream like level ups and stuff. So definitely give Forest your energy to get rid of Rom on this go.
Yeah, he's got this for sure.
So you see blanxz leveling up. He's got 32 strength, 25 skill. He's also going to level up his weapon and slot some different gems, and then he's going to head on to the next set.
Forrest doing a pretty good job of getting rid of the spiders. He knocked a few out before popping his pellet just to make sure he had some for the end. The cool thing about Rom is you can do up to 1,060 damage before she starts teleporting. And we actually use that to our advantage we pretty much, the 3 to 4 hits, and then you regen your stamina and then get to go ham. And
alright, let's go, Forest.
Not much left.
Bring it on home, and his echoes are right there. I can see them. I hope he sees them. He does see them. Good job.
Alright, GG,
so
Forest.
We're back on track.
And you guys might not notice this, but actually both of them had quit out after not getting the teleports. And this is actually kind of a newer strat. It's kind of neat. If you do it correctly, you can actually pretty much spawn right on top of the queen and get the cutscene. Oh, he actually did right there. And that was always a problem with not getting the insta-warp, is you had to run to the queen. Well,
yeah,
we kind of found out.
Around and find her, and then
yeah, you had to find her, and then you're running a marathon to get to her. And we found out pretty much you can quit out and either be right beside her or even get an insta-warp. So it's pretty cool. All right, blanxz did a safety quit out to miss this meme squad. Depending on your pathing, you can get a silver beast, a big troll dude, or both at that door. And because this category, and pretty much all categories in Bloodborne, you are not allowed to quit out on any animation that starts with an X, such as a lever, door, stuff like that. And so that was a good call. And then we got that NPC is his name's Edgar Choir Intelligence, but he's not very smart most of the time.
blanxz is picking up an extra pellet behind there. That's like a safety pellet for should you need it later. And it's just, makes you feel a little bit better.
It's a good insurance policy.
Yes.
Because at this point, you're cash strapped for pellets until kind of the mid game after you're done with any percent. So that's like the one spare you can kind of go grab in case, and not lose just going super far out of your way. All right, we got Forrest doing Yargul skip. So I don't know how long Yargul skip's been around. Mama, you might be able to tell me, but I just know that it's been scienced quite a bit.
It has. When I first started running, I think the ProFlow setup had just been found. So that was quite a long time ago.
It's interesting though, because there's if you look at it in collision viewer, there's no collision there, and you can actually just run through if you hit it right, but it's not easy. The best setup we do is with the cleaver. But so lolblanxz is on Mikolash now. So this is one of the actual longest fights in the game because you actually have to use 2 pellets. It's 2 parts.
Against our will, this is the longest fight in the game. Because believe me, nobody wants to be here this long.
Indeed. So you saw him knock out some puppets. So those puppets are kind of like the spiders, but worse. In that they follow you, and sometimes they just drop dead. And they're actually the only enemy, to my knowledge, you can't actually gain rally off of. But yeah, you kill them, and then you kind of just go to town on Miko for phase 1. Good job.
Miko is like a super heckin' memer. Like, in your first playthrough, this will probably be like one of the worst fights you encounter because like he runs from you, you don't know where he needs to go, and like it's horrible. Like it's so aggravating. And even in the speedrun, guess what? Still aggravating.
Very. We've gotten some better strats, you know, and you'll always see runners in the, you know, especially during their runs, they're trying to do, they'll call it Swedish luck, which more or less means that he goes straight to where he wants to, you know, his end parts here, where right now he's at the bottom of the deal.
Saw lolblanxz being very careful there with that skeleton, and the reason being, these skeletons can definitely get you, not necessarily in a one-shot, but in a one combo, and then you're done.
Mm-hmm. And they are about as thin as Parl's legs, so difficult to hit.
So shooting him down was definitely the right safety measure if he was uncomfortable.
And that was a nice Miko, and Forest as well, finishing Reborn. Very nice. We're trucking along. We're getting towards the end of the any percent portion already. Feels like we just started.
Good job, Forest. So, as of right now, we have 0 reborn deaths. We're starting off good, aren't we?
That's pretty good. I hope I'm not the first to die to him tomorrow. We shall see.
Peanut and Donnie, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Okay, so lolblanxz is doing a quick aside. So this is like one of the longest side cuts, or you know, going off the beaten track. But it's actually very important because you get a very, very big boosting gem, which we didn't really talk about gems too much, but throughout the run you pick up 2 18% and 15% gems, which they're, I believe, it's like 50% more damage, more or less, math. And you notice the difference quite a bit. And you go grab that, and then you'll slot it after Wet Nurse, which is coming up for lolblanxz. And then one other thing about the area lolblanxz is in is he's going to be running past these pigs and grabbing another gem, but there's kind of a trick to this, and you won't necessarily notice it just as a casual viewer, is that we actually are trying to get these pigs to follow us. Because if anybody has ever farmed in this game, you probably have done this, where you pull the pigs to these shadows. Thank you, FromSoft, for using bosses as enemies later. And get free echoes, more or less, free money. But we actually try to use that to our advantage. And if we get a pig kill, you actually can get 1 additional level on your final level up. And makes it a little bit easier in the end game. So yeah, Wet Nurse is a tank and can meme you in multiple ways as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we get some distortion too, Nurse. That was always the my bad, I shouldn't have said it. Yeah, it's a pretty simple strat. I mean, you're just staying behind her, but she can try to do some meme stuff and hit you pretty hard. The worst two things are instant lawnmower, which is pretty much means she just instantly goes into attack when you have no time to get behind her, and she has a thing called nightmare phase, which she'll spawn copies of herself. But we have a way to actually cancel it by doing some pretty precise dodging, which you will not get to see here because Blanks had a very
she was pretty
tame.
well behaved. Yeah,
that was one of the that was one of the tamest wet nurses I've seen.
So
no teleports, no nothing.
Like Peanut said, she can instant lawnmower you. She can teleport. She can do nightmare phase at any point in the fight, but at about 60 to 70% of her health, she spawns a copy of herself. And like,
if you don't cancel it, you either better mow her down and kill her before you get hit by the spawn, or you're running around for 45 seconds to a minute. Oh my god,
Forest. My heart. He got sprayed by Edgar.
Oh no.
And had 2 HP left.
I'm just glad he healed before the jump.
Oh my god. My heart.
What's bad about he has this little it's like the flame sprayer but the arcane version, and it's like white mist and you can barely see it, so you think you're out of the range, you're not. And then it takes 2 ticks was all it hit him, and that took 90% of his health. Thanks, Edgar. So Blanks is done with any percent. He went and slotted and upgraded his weapon, and now he's doing lecture hall skip, which is, in my opinion, the most precise skip in the game.
And he got it on 3rd try. That's not bad.
That's pretty good. But yeah, they used to call it lecture hall skip.
Attempts are so fast that getting it within maybe the first 3, I'd say is acceptable.
You lose it saves about 16 to 18 seconds, but so yeah, roughly if about 4th try is where you break even, I think. Obviously you want to get the 1st or 2nd try, but that doesn't always work out. Consoles and setups. All right.
God.
Oh, Forrest is toying with our heartstrings here. All right. That was all planned right at the door. Easy.
I'm too old for all this. I'm nervous. My anxiety's kicking in.
So
Blanks is doing Frontier Skip. He just quit out. This skip's pretty much the entire Frontier. You don't have to run through any of it. You go straight to the bottom of the elevator and run to the boss.
It's actually I think. Let me double check my research here. It saves 36 seconds, so it is one of the largest in the game.
Now, don't you call this the mama skip, Donnie. Get out of here.
So he actually did an arch. You'll see most runners do a sit-down gesture because there's a little tiny rock you want to land on to bypass the kill plane. But he actually did charged R2, which is another setup that some people do. Pretty neat. And then this is Amy G.
Now Forrest missed trapping Miko. Therefore he shot him twice to get him to come back without going into the room. If Miko goes into the room, that loses you a lot of time. Because he goes in, the door closes, you have to run back around, jump down on him, yada yada. Waste of time. So good job keeping him from going into the room.
That's a backup strat that not a lot of people use or even know about, so that was definitely an awesome display. Yeah, 3 instances of damage. He's on you. Like white on rice. So yeah, Blanks killed Amy G and he did his final level up. So he should have between 43, 44 strength. I didn't catch if he got the pig kill. But so now he's going to be running through the woods, kind of a slower segment in the run. You're just grabbing some pellets and maybe attempting cave skip, which is a pretty neat skip. Scary skip in my opinion, but it's cool. It was the last one I ever incorporated in my run because I was so terrified of it. If you fail it, you die.
Oh God, Blinks.
Blinks brought company. All right, he is elected not to do cave skip. Probably a very good choice in my opinion. That dog is on him.
Yeah.
Is this DS3? He's
Actually, he's grabbing bullets, and inside this house here, but you can grab them from the outside, is an extra 6 pellets. So, like, just doing this tiny little run here gets you 6 extra bullets, 6 extra pellets, and the vials. So he's got a little safety coming in now.
And
that's a good little net for him.
Regal has said, cave skip doesn't even skip a cave, and he's true. And it's true. We just jump into the cave. That's the ingenuity and creativity of Bloodborne runners. All of our skips have most basic names. Cookie's the only one that's tried to elaborate on it. He's got his little cookie acronym thing.
I mean, if it was up to us at this point, we would just call him Cookie Skip 1, Cookie Skip 2, Cookie Skip 3.
Indeed. So yeah, you got Forest coming up on Wet Nurse into any percent. Not too far behind.
Cookie's not even here to listen to us bully him, is he?
He said he would watch. But it is past his bedtime.
It is. You better be sleeping, or else.
So yeah, at the end of this section for blanxz, it's going to be grabbing another key item to go to another area, Canehurst, and then grabbing another third of the umbilical cord. And you actually got the second third after Wet Nurse. You get it just automatically. And we said there's 4. There's one that's like stuck behind a NPC quest line, but it's slow, so we don't do it. All right. Wet Nurse, she's dancing. She's trying. I don't think Forrest is going to let her, though.
You know, if I had to pick a move of hers outside of the really heinous ones, if I had to pick a move of hers that I hate, it's the swipes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate the swipes.
Well, typically in the fight, I mean, you can strafe or walk around everything if you are managing the fight correctly, save for those swipes, and you have to roll them. You can't really strafe them, and it being efficient, losing stamina to a roll, not attacking. I mean, that's just inefficient. We're going full stop here.
We're going fast, okay?
So you see blanxz grabbing this cord, and then he marks out back to the lamp, and he's going to be trucking on to Upper Cathedral. GG Forest, he got the any percent portion done. He's going to do the level ups, slot those gems.
You know what I'm sad that I missed since I was running late? And I really hope that he did it, because the first time I saw it, I thought my eyes were going to pop out of my head. When blanxz does sewer skip, he stops and John Wayne's that dog. And
yeah.
I swear to God, the first time I saw it, I thought my eyes were going to fall out. I was like, what are you doing? Oh my God. But it works for him.
I mean, whatever. I'm always up on the club of whatever works for you. Yeah, and there's we hadn't really mentioned it, but there's actually this sort of section right before after Wet Nurse and before Amy. It's kind of a scary portion. You'll notice that he's got a lot of echoes, and if you end up messing up in this section and you lose them, that's like all your levels, which you can recover. You can recover from it, but it's definitely it hurts. So yeah, that's definitely I can tell you as a runner, that's a concern point where you're always like, I better not, better be clean here. Always makes Nightmare Front tier skip interesting.
There's nothing interesting about Nightmare Frontier Skip. Not that I hold anything against it.
I think it's interesting. I don't have to do it through the Miyazaki swamp. Well, I guess there's 2 swamps, huh? There's one there, and then there's the one in the forest. And the one at the other place. Never mind. And the cave. Yeah, there's a lot of swamp. What is it with him and poison? I don't know.
So, Blanks is an Upper Cathedral Ward. There are 2 optional bosses up here. The first one is called Celestial Emissary, and the second one is Ebrietus. You see him setting up, getting ready for a quit out, because if those guys are extremely aggressive and you get hit, you need to quit out before you die, because they will definitely...
I mean, I'm pretty sure they one-shot you.
Yeah, they will definitely wreck you, so, like, you don't want to mess with them. So he's getting ready for the quit out, but he was fine.
Nice. Forrest had a good Amy G. Very nice. Be done. Alright, so Blanks is coming up on Research Hall, or no, excuse me, Orphanage Key Skip. We'll get to that other one later. So, the essential, how this skip works is you essentially are hitting this brain sucker through the door and getting him to come to you and you kill him. So you get the key and don't have to run all the way around. And it seems Blank's having some issues with it.
But he's dead.
He got him. Very nice. So
Orphanage Key Skip that definitely doesn't skip the Orphanage Key. You see how good we are at naming skips.
The worst part about that, though, is if you mess it up, you end up having this. You start losing a lot of time, and it actually messes up the AI or the pattern of this guy.
Yes, you lose time, and this dude's in a bad position, and he's not nice. So, like,
he's a brain sucker. He'll suck the inside out of you, which is in that you don't want to lose resources in this run, especially insight. It's pretty. We don't really get too much extra.
No.
And he also grabbed a badge there. You might not have caught it. It's just a badge that's actually quite important because it lets us buy beast blood pellets with said insight later on when easier than picking it up in the world. All right, so we got Blanks doing the jelly beans, as I like to call them.
Them some nasty looking jelly beans.
So this is another one of those bosses that's got a million minions that are the real boss.
If you had to pick, what flavor jelly beans would they be?
I mean, they're blue. Blueberry? I don't know.
Blue raspberry?
Blue raspberry? Something like that. Blueberry? Just blueberry. I'm down with that. Now, he did some extended R2 magic, got them all down. Actually, in my opinion, we don't ever really see the extended move sets in these runs, but they're actually sometimes quite nice and versatile. They're quite extended R2s can do very wide and build a lot of meter. So yeah, Ebby. This boss is like end game, base game. And this is a strat that you don't want this boss to fight you.
Yeah, she's meaner than a hippo with the hernia. So, like, you definitely don't want to mess this strat up because she will wreck you. But yeah, Blanks did a good job.
That was very clean. So yeah, that's it for more or less. He's going on to DLC now. Once he gets his well, actually no, I lied. He's got one more boss before DLC. But that's the scary one right there. That's like the last hard boss before you start getting to the DLC, which is the real where you're gonna see the good action. And Forrest is not too far behind. He's grabbing the cord and the Canehurst summons. And still anybody's ball game. This is the DLC especially.
Oh yeah.
It's where hunters are made. Or unmade.
Making fun of my hippo with the hernia comparison. I'm comfortable, okay? Like, that's just how we talk.
Did Blanks buy poison knives? I think so. He did grab the ritual blood. I did notice that. Yeah, he might be doing the cheese. We'll see. So yeah, you get grabbed by this invisible. Well, I don't know if it's invisible by this point. Grabbed by this amygdala. Get to travel to the DLC.
It is not invisible at this point. They are visible. There's a certain point in the game. Don't quote me on where it is, but I think it's also with 20 insight. You can see them. So, like early game, when you're running past, you don't see it because you don't have the insight to see it. But when you come back now, they're visible because you have enough insight.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird mechanic because it changes a few enemies' movesets after like 15 or 16, something like that. And then you like can hear the baby crying, like baby at like 40 or something. Don't quote me on those,
yeah.
But
we're speedrunners. We don't know these things.
I'm listening. I'm not. You think I'm listening for stuff? I'm just zooming. So yeah, Forrest is on his way to Upper Cathedral, and you got Blanks. He's going back through Central Yharnam, which is to go back and fight the other first boss.
Hardest boss in the game.
That's right. So this is the point where you see just how powerful you can become. You've transgressed through the run, and now you're back in humble beginnings, and to see what kind of deeps you can do.
Back on the mean streets you grew up on.
That's right. Now Alma, he would be a person that would he's the early cleric cultist. He would be the one to tell you to do early cleric, but I'm not about that life. Throwing Molotovs and charged R2s.
And yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. It was close, but Blanks won.
It was close. That was close.
I was on the edge of my seat.
That was a boss. So yeah, now Blanks is going to DLC, which he's actually on a pretty dang good pace.
Did Blanks PB anymore since he got the 118?
I don't think so. I mean, he might have, actually. I don't know. We mentioned right at the beginning, Blanks he's only been running this for a few weeks, so he's been improving very fast, and I'm excited to see what he does in this tournament.
Yeah, he's been a little PB machine, so...
So you got Forrest on the orphanage key skip. Now we didn't really mention it earlier, but both of these runners are using the cleaver. Oh, he got the bad magic. But back in my day, keep saying that, but we used to actually. No, not at all. No, but we actually used to grab the cane at the beginning, which it was kind of a cool trick because everybody was like, "How'd you grab 2 weapons at the beginning?" Because if you're fast, you can actually grab 2 for free. But it's slower, grabbing 2, and we found out a way to do it with the cleaver. And in my opinion, it's pretty consistent and works quite well, and it's quite faster too.
You know what? We saw Blanks use the cane because when he did the cleaver, he also got the magic spam. So he used the cane as his backup to get the sucker to come.
Oh, it's definitely not a bad strat, and it's honestly it's definitely more reliable grabbing the cane, in my opinion. But because if you miss with the cleaver, you're going to be messing with him for a minute.
See, D-Planet's a boomer too. I still grab the cane. And like the thing about these skips, like that you have to understand, is that while they look like they are not that difficult, they can be extremely precise. Like, to the point that you don't understand how hard they are until you attempt them. These guys make most of them look easy, That's tons and tons of practice.
Thousands of hours of practice.
So the fact that like Forest is struggling with this, is not altogether surprising. It's a precise skip. And I am guessing
there we go.
From the looks of things, that he does not have the cane as a backup.
Doesn't look like it. And there have been more or less novels written about the orphanage key skip by our one of our skip and strat finding persons, this Hex. Shout out to him. His footprints are all over this run. You may or may not see them, but they're there. Oh man.
Oh, we got it.
We got him. Forrest showed you just about every way that thing could go wrong, but he's still going strong.
Still going, boys. Nothing wrong with that. And Blank's heading to get a safety lamp before Ludwig.
Which is it's a 2 to 3 minute run back if you end up falling to Ludwig. And you noticed earlier he used a blue elixir to get up on past that hunter. Like at this juncture, you would not have an extra elixir probably. He does have an extra, but all it sets of purpose is you wouldn't. And getting past that guy is no easy task.
I'm sure he probably wants that elixir for the Hamlet area, so he ain't gonna want to use that bad boy nowhere else.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Ludwig. Everybody loves this guy. If everything goes well, he'll be done in pretty dang quick fashion. Excuse me. My only complaint of this fight is they didn't give him enough health.
What sort of masochist are you?
I run BL4, what do you think?
He's got enough health, Peanut, okay? Like, he's got plenty of health. He's a thick
Blanks did a very good job finishing him off. And the cool little thing is actually, we found this out not too long, well, a couple months ago, I guess. He's considered a beast. And beasts actually have different death animations if they died with like a fire attack. So we actually stopped using the fire paper on Parl and using the broken limb mechanics we talked about earlier. We don't need it. And use it for Ludwig and get a faster death animation, and you don't have to wait on the fog wall. Very cool. Little optimization you might not see.
Looks like Blanks is opting for the early
Skull.
Help me out, Peanut. Skull. The early skull pickup. So he sent the elevator back down, and then he hunter marked so that it would go down and he wouldn't have to wait, and he's gonna go pick up the skull.
So this is essentially so you can start grabbing the lamps. He got tagged by the hunters, but that's not even a big deal.
But he got the skull.
He got the skull. That's the big deal.
Meanwhile, Forrest finishing Ebrietas.
Very nice.
And that was actually clean. Like it looked good. He did really good there. I like that charged R2 to start. The first time I saw that strat was actually a few days ago. But it's very clean looking. I like it.
I think I'm pretty sure I still do the old strat, but
I do too. Old habits die hard, Peanut.
That's right. Us old folks gotta stick together. So Blanks is running through Research Hall skip. I'm pretty sure he's going to actually do the one of the brand new skips we just got via Cookie. I don't know, Cookie skip 10, whatever.
Yeah, Cookie skip 4011.
But there was a skip found actually quite recently by Giant Cookie Jar, and it is a new way to go through the Research Hall. And it's a pretty neat little development that we've had just in the recent couple weeks. But he just did a quit out there, which was pretty actually found by NEMS, I guess. Of course, it's a DS3 runner that finds a faster way to do something with a quit out. But yeah, you can actually get through that area, and the two guys in the back don't even come at you. It's actually a really neat strat, and I can't figure my way up through here without it now.
God, I hate that attack. That really long delay, like I'm about to slam you, like hits me like 90% of the time. But got past it.
If there's a sub boss, like the boss that doesn't have the health bar, that's one of them. He's a run killer.
He's a bad boy. Yep.
Actually, there's a lot. There were many times and many runners who used to save an elixir just for that guy. Oh, I was a little bit ahead of myself. Blanx is actually doing the old style going through here.
God, I knew that was gonna happen.
Oof. So, yeah, that hunter shows up if you get a stored roll, and then bad things happen. But this is a good illustration of what the pros are of doing it the old way. Is he actually lowered the deal and has a quicker way to get back up to the boss fight. Now, if you do the new research hall skip, you actually skip hitting that central lever and you don't move the cylinder, and you can't take this elevator. You have to go all the way back to the top. So it's kind of a
do not click $200.
So it's somewhat of a risky play in this run. I mean, if you grab early skull, it's not too big of a deal once you get past failures because you can grab the next lamp. But yeah, it's not too big of a deal if you actually die there. You just have to run around, and you can actually grab some extra pellets if you want. But yeah, here you go. Here's the typical. They're killing me. Twitch chat.
Yeah. This is me, boss.
Which everybody jokes about this boss, but they are not particularly easy.
Yeah, they're aggressive.
It once one thing goes wrong, the whole fight kind of gets wild. So we're seeing Blanks would like to go to the left side.
He had a little bit of a rough start.
Little fun fact, this left side guy actually has a little bit less HP.
He does. When I do BL4, I kill this one instead of the other side.
Don't ask me why that's the case, but that's how it be.
Because Miyazaki said so. Okay. Okay.
That's that peach bit coming in.
Regroup a little bit, darling. There we go.
Okay. So, this is the cosmic phase. You're going to see meteors popping off in the background. You got to come over to
the... he is where he is during the meteor phase is that meteors coming at you from a certain angle, and if you're standing where he was at, they'll hit the tree and not you.
There's a sweet spot. Right? Conveniently by a spawn point. Nice recovery. That was a very nice recovery.
Yes.
Because typically when that fight goes awry, it's over. You probably will die.
Yeah, it was a good recovery because you don't want to have to run back. And now he had the second pellet, so he'll have the normal Maria fight because he had pellet when he quit out.
Yeah, and that's another cool thing right there is you'll see he has pellet right now, or a beast meter. And this is really the only spot we can do it, but if you quit out with a beast meter, you'll keep the meter, but you actually don't have an active pellet. So whenever he pops to the next pellet, he's going to have automatically half to wherever that meter is, and it's a nice little damage boost for Maria. And most speedrunners will tell you they hate this boss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because she is a meanie.
And it can be my unpopular opinion, but I hate this boss.
I actually like her, but that's just. But again, we've already established I'm a masochist, so. Yeah, the typical strat, you just want to stay in front of her, but she can start jumping around, and that's what you don't want.
I want to know where Stowe is at, because Stowe will agree with me. That this boss trash. Oh. Luckily for Blanks, he got the lamp right before Maria. He does not have to run back.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of pellets, so he's good to go.
And obviously, other than losing time because you just died, he hasn't really lost anything. He's going to be right there. He can go straight back in the fight.
Yeah, at this point, you've got all your levels. You're not worried about echoes really anymore. You know.
And Forest is making his way into the Ludwig fight.
Dual boss fights. Let's go. What a time to be alive. Forrest doing nice work with Ludwig. Oh.
Alright. Run, baby, run. Run, Forrest, run! Oh my god, please. There you go.
He's tall enough that you can get those memes where you just miss him. Oh my heart jumped on that one.
Oh my god. Okay, Blanks is done with Maria. Good job. Forrest is...
Should be done with Ludwig. Very nice. Oh my gosh. My heart can't take this.
Yes.
So much action.
Not clean, but nice recovery. Very nicely done.
I mean, to stay alive if something goes wrong in itself is a victory.
Yes, correct. There is a certain point you can reach, but in almost all instances, not dying and being able to finish the first run is going to be faster than having to run back.
Indeed. Alright, we'll see if Forrest grabs early skull. He will as well. Not a bad call. So yeah, Blanks is running through the hamlet now. It's kind of scary area to run through. I think he's got that elixir, so it should be pretty easy. Some guys run through here without it. I typically don't, just because I'm a peach.
I'm a baby. I'm using an elixir here.
Why worry about something when you don't have it? That's my opinion. No, they're not fighting the sharks, if anybody wants to know.
You mean that's not part of this run?
Nah, they're not. He killed the chair? Yeah, he's old hero.
This is a qualifier. They're both new runners. We should have made that part of it for them. You know, like...
Kill...
You have to go kill sharks too. Sorry, boys. It's the rules.
That'll be if they're tied IGT. That's the tiebreaker. Starting from the ladder drop. This isn't all achievements? No. So you saw Synced Sony Computer Entertainment Presents. I'm just kidding. Forrest on the oh my gosh. I'm getting everybody mixed up now. Blanks on the right. He just did a quit out during what we call Hamlet skip, which is it's pretty simple. It's just a slope quit out to get you out of bounds. You know, if you've seen any Dark Souls run, you've seen a slope quit out. And it gets you right up here into the orphan fight, which is it's a tense moment in the run. So we'll see how he handles it.
You know, we talked earlier if Blanks bought knives or not, and I didn't want to say anything because I did not see. But he's not an orphan cheeser. So like, yeah, I didn't think he bought any knives, but I didn't want to be wrong because maybe he did something different since it's a race. But here he is fighting orphan like a man.
Very nice. The training wheels are off.
Okay, we're fine. and you see him, quote, attempting to pop another pellet. This is planned because if your pellet is already active, instead of popping another one, you do what we call a butt scratch. And Orphan has this thing where once he's at like 70-ish% health, you can butt scratch and bait him to do a certain thing, which is the overhead jump, and then you can backstab him. So that's what he was doing by doing the butt scratch part.
That was very nice Orphan. And Forest, during all that action, actually Forest had just did the one of the versions of the research hall skip, which pretty much what you don't hit that cylinder like we said, and you do some creative jumping on some invisible ledges and get to the door. Pretty neat little skip. And you don't mess with that hunter that lolblanxz had to mess with, which is another pro of it.
I'm sorry that we missed that, but I was like really excited to watch him fighting Orphan. And he did so good. I'm proud.
He did a very good job. Oh man, that roll on that orb scared me. So we never really happened.
Okay.
Thanks, OBS. Is everybody alive? I'm sorry.
Okay, they're both still good. I can see.
Apologies. I don't know what happened there. We're back though. lolblanxz is at Lawrence. Very nice. And Forrest is at Maria. Action.
The good news is, I could see him the entire time, so we don't have spliced runs.
There you go.
Yay!
It's all good.
Official verification. These runs are not spliced.
Alright, lolblanxz doing a good job, and it got Lawrence at phase 3. Maria's at phase 3. Forrest got done with Maria, very nice. And lolblanxz is done with Lawrence. Nice. That was very, very, very nice. Back to back.
I like this timing where they're both in boss fights at the same time. Like, it's really exciting.
It is. I can't even, like, I feel like I'm talking over the fights if I say anything. Very nice. Do it again, we missed it, yeah. So, lolblanxz has got DLC done, and now he's going to be going to clean up the end game of the base game, and then he's on to the final bosses. He has 4 bosses remaining, and Forrest is at 6. But it's still anybody's race, because Ligarius, that is definitely a time or place you can lose a lot of time. Especially if you do not grab the backup elevator. It's like 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah, and you have to remember, Forrest has had a lot of quit-outs, so we are going off of IGT, so, you know, we won't really know what's going on to the very end.
Correct.
So yeah, and Forrest is also electing to grab the orphan lamp. Because it's a probably 2-minute run back from the beginning of the research hall at least, if not more. Especially considering you might have to do research hall skip. You have to run up to the top. I do not know what's happening.
Okay, I can hear you. Like, I could hear you the whole time.
Okay.
But, okay. Yeah.
We're back.
It looks like you're back. Okay.
Alright, we made it for the orphan fight. I apologize. My computer hates me.
Forrest fights him like a man, too. GG. Now, we didn't get to see it today, but the reason that we make the joke fighting him like a man versus, all glitching and blah, 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 cheating, there is a cheese that you can do. We use poison knives. where you freeze Orphan's AI in a series, and I'm sure we'll see it at some point in the tournament, but neither of these boys chose to do it. They are fighting Orphan.
Very nice. And then you got blanxz coming here up on witches, which let's hope he doesn't get Mario'd.
Imagine getting Mario'd.
So they're typically a pretty easy fight in this category. You just kind of go R1 and GG. But there are some memes. These little guys that are kind of lurking around. They hit hard, and once they start going, there's no stopping them. And you'll get to see this neat little trick. You're gonna
Nope, you're not going to see this neat little trick.
Well, you saw him attempt it, so. There is a neat little strat there with the witches, and it's kind of similar to the, forgive me, the Greatwood skip in DS3, I think.
Yes.
That you pretty much are quitting out right at the moment that the boss arena is still a boss arena, but the boss is dead, and thus you actually warp yourself out of the arena. And it's a nice little time save, IGT. It's actually not faster RTA, but he attempted it. He didn't get on top of the barrel, which is kind of the key thing there, but not a big. And he's off to Canehurst while Forest over here is getting ready for Lawrence.
Yep. I love how scripted Lawrence is now, because there were times when I first started running, or here and there. There was a strat, but I sometimes struggled with it. Like, the way that it is now is just so nice. There is no RNG to this fight at all, unless you miss part of the script. And it's so nice.
Yeah, and with this, there's been a few iterations of this fight in my time running, and this one is by far pretty much the comfiest.
Yes.
And you get a phase, if you do it correctly, you get a phase 1 kill, which fighting Lawrence phase 3 is not really that fun.
Nope.
Oh, that was perfect. That was clean.
Pretty good job, Forrest. Nicely done.
Yeah, blanxz is on his way up to Ligarius. If you might have saw your reflection chat on the floor. I don't know. I need to hire those ladies for my house. They're very good cleaners.
Please.
I mean, you can eat off those floors. I'm telling you.
How long has Forrest been running?
I'm not sure. Around a year, I think, roughly, maybe something like that. The Forrest came on, and he didn't really. He went into 1.0 any percent, which is a category not a lot of people run, and he has really. Took a lot of newer strats and made that run even better, and now he's improved the time by quite a bit. And relative speaking, for any percent, just a few seconds is a big time save, and I think he's knocked the any percent portion down by quite double digits at least. And yeah, blanxz as well. He's a very new runner.
Very new, yes.
Like just a few weeks, really. blanxz actually was running Demon Souls remake and has the Recce in one of the categories. Don't quote me on which category, but one of them. But yeah, both very good runners, and like I can't stress that they're doing actually extremely well.
Yeah, they're doing very, very awesome. I'm extremely impressed.
Like, we've had memes, don't get me wrong, but they've recovered from them very, very well. And that's like the big thing about races and why this tournament excites me so much, because really it's always anybody's race. You never know what's going to happen. And all of our runners are pretty dang close to each other, relatively speaking, in skill, in my opinion. Some have a little bit more experience than others, but still, I mean, these guys are pumping out a fast run. And this is just the beginning. I'm very excited for what's coming up.
Ew.
So you got blanxz hitting here. He's got last 3 bosses, trifecta coming up, Ligarius, and then the Gearmoon.
First up, the boss a Hattie's never seen.
Mm-hmm. That's how Hattie has all the records. He is boss. Don't tell anybody.
Doesn't go to Canehurst.
So yeah, Ligarius can be a definite meme. And we've gotten better at him over the years, but he still can kind of throw some curveballs at you. Oh.
Ooh.
That bit saved him.
Oh, God. Oh, thank God for Peach Fit.
So this is what we meant when we said that sometimes
Peanut.
Ligarius can get out of control.
Something is wrong with Forest Stream.
There we go.
Blanks. Finish Ligarius. I wasn't scared at all. We're good. Now, Logarius is a little on this like scripted side. You don't want him to be in second phase because he's scary. But Blanks was able to get through it. And he will be heading on to the final bosses.
Which are by no means easy.
No.
They might make it look easy sometimes, but there can be some memery. All right, final boss here, as Forest finishes the witches.
Looks like he missed the quit out too.
Blanks is having very good Gearman.
Oh, little
Oh.
too soon on that charged R2. So now we get to fight Gearman. In
So this
all his
yeah.
crappy
Yeah,
glory.
Yeah, so this phase, when he's like this, he has like hyper armor and like you cannot do like infinite poise. So pretty much you have to be very choosy on where you're attacking.
Beautifully recovered. Like, good job, Blanks.
All right, now for the final boss. The moon. Unfortunately, this boss is just a tangled mess.
Yeah, just like I don't even like know what I would describe that as, but yeah, you did a good job. Just like a mess of like limbs and hair.
Aesthetically, very cool. As
Yeah.
a boss, it's not a fun fight. Because even hitting the limbs you want to is extremely difficult. And nice.
Oh, yay!
She
Good
tried to
job.
get away.
Yay, Blanks.
All right, GG Blanks. Echoes and a quit out. So that is it for him. We'll have him check his IGT. And
If
after
he still had the 118.18 that he got a few days ago,
this might be a PB.
we'll see how big of a PB it is.
And we got Forest coming up on Ligarius. Not that far behind, to be honest.
Doing us, Blanks. 120, 48.
120. That's
Not bad. That is actually respectable. His PB is a 118. So for him to have a 120 in a race setting where your focus is on not resetting, that's still very, very good.
I mean, that's literally right off of his PB, and that just shows that he's definitely coming strong.
Yes.
He's
There
only
is
going
a
to
lot of
improve.
potential there.
GG, and we're gonna.
And
And
Forrest
Forrest
is
is-
going to be moving on to Logarius.
Yeah, he's real. Honestly, like he's really not far behind. He's got Ligarius and Gearman. Boom, boom. We're done.
I know you sit there and you think, well, he's 3 bosses behind. But you gotta remember, it's boom, boom, boom. Boss, boss, boss. Like, this is gonna be close.
I mean, when everything goes right, you're using 2 pellets. A pellet's 60 seconds. So, I mean, use that for reference. You know, that's always a good timing analogy.
Remembering that the reason that Forest is a little bit further behind RTA wise is that he did quit out multiple times attempting the orphanage key skip.
And and we have a PS5 versus a PS4, so there is a little discrepancy there. I think in times I've seen it in RTA, it saves about a second per load. So take that for what it's worth. So we got the good opener on the Ligurius. Oh. It's always tough after the first combo because he if you don't time it right, he'll throw a insta skull in your face, and if you're not careful, it's a one shot. But that was a very nice job of recovering off that.
Very good. No second phase Ligurius memes.
And now we got the finale. And I hope you guys in the chat and everybody watching has been having a good time. You know, this is the first of many races that's going to be happening over the course of the next month and a half or so. Pretty much we're having so most of our runners, they have a week time frame to kind of schedule. You know, everybody has life going on and they have a time to schedule their stuff. And then we're going to have them, you know, throughout the week and month. So stay tuned for more. So yeah, we got him fighting Gehrman. Week and month. So stay tuned for more. It's always very awkward when you got the boss kind of sitting there just looking at you.
Yeah, because then as soon as you do something, he's gonna do like the one thing you don't want him to do, and you're gonna get hecked.
So stay tuned for. It's always one of the few things I'll always be mad about is I'll yell at the enemies. Why stop? Do something.
Yes, and like the longer I stand there and they're not doing anything, I'm like, oh, for the love of God! Oh God, that's a good parry.
Very nice.
Nicely done, Forest.
And you kind of see them actually attacking his ghost. You can actually build meter off of it, which you can use to get the very end. More damage, more or less, for this boss. But it's a very tight window. And as you see there, he's popping another one.
Yeah, it's pretty metal that you can gain beast meter off of Gehrman's ghost.
I mean, I'm about it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Like,
And that's a wrap. Very nice.
Oh, good job, Forest.
Good job, Forest. Good job, Blanks. That was a fantastic race. And we'll call it at time. Maybe. My timer stops. Maybe. There we go, I did it. GG.
All the claps. Yay!
Nice job, boys. We've got a... Whoa!
Oh!
So, wow.
Oh!
All right. So...
Bro, I had such a rough start. Holy shit.
Interesting.
So, we have an interesting development here. So, because we are actually going off of IGT, it appears as though Forrest has won this round. He has a 118.50. You did a lot. That kind of shows you a difference in hardware and just kind of how much loads really take into account. But by all means, this race was intense. Like,
don't let that take away from how well Blanks played. Like, he very, very good. And this was a close race. I mean, we're talking about they're within 2 minutes IGT. This was a very good race. I'm very proud of both of them. But that just goes to show you that RTA does not always equal out to IGT.
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys, Blanks and Forest, if you want to jump in real quick, tell us what you thought about the runs.
Well, I died 4 times in Old Yarnum, and then I spent 30 minutes in Upper Cathedral Ward. So that was my takeaway. I was really proud of my DLC. That's all.
You did have a great DLC. I mean, it's tough, definitely. I mean, I saw you in the the Lunarium Key Skip. I mean, that was a struggle point too, and I know that's a frustrating point because you're sitting there like I'm just sitting here losing time, quitting out, and
Yeah, and I don't even know what I'm doing wrong is in a point like that where I'm just missing the right arm.
But yeah, that was an awesome run. I mean, GG for keeping going through that, and yeah, Upper Cathedral, that Orphanage Key Skip. It's tough without the cleaver if it doesn't go your way.
Tough
without the cane. Without the cane, excuse me. And yeah, Blanks, I don't know if you want to jump in, but yeah, you had a great run as well.
Blank's got a 120.
Yeah, I got a 120, which is right off of his PB, which is very impressive.
Yeah, good for him. He's so consistent.
And for being a brand new runner, I'm very excited to see how how he does.
A brand new runner in his first race setting, for him to be that close to his current PB is like very promising. So there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of there. That's a good run.
And as we said, this is a single stage double elimination, so no, these guys are not out. Like, we've got a lot more races coming. So we've got a bracket. I think you guys have seen it in the chat. You guys can refer to that, but we've got a lot of different stuff coming up. We'll keep you guys posted in the Speed Souls Discord on upcoming ones, but we've actually got another match coming up tomorrow.
And it is between Peanut himself and Donnie Recht.
Which I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. Donnie was a no-hit runner, and he's got no hit. Like, that's very impressive, and he's taken those skills and brought them over to the speed.
Yeah, you
speed
can't even
side.
tell he used to be a no-hit runner. He's an all bosses maniac for sure.
He has translated it flawlessly, and we have very similar PBs, and I've been watching him a lot lately, and we are very evenly matched in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a really, really fun race for you guys to watch tomorrow. And I think we have a Hattie commentating tomorrow, so you'll get to hear from the Canadian man himself, Canadian Beaver. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is roughly, let me do math, this is hard, 17 hours from now, I think. Something like that. No, excuse me, 16.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not Eastern, so I have to do some side math. So, yeah. So, with that being said, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you, Mama, for commentating with me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I'm going to take this quick opportunity to thank Speed Souls and everybody involved so far. Thank you for letting us have this tournament here. It was been a goal of mine to bring this to Speed Souls. I felt like this was a place to have our tournament, and I'm happy that we can make this a thing. We've had so many PBs lately, in renewed, energy in Bloodborne, and we've got a new skip. Like, it's a good time to be a Bloodborne runner. And yeah, if any of you guys are out there and you guys want to learn the run, go to the Discord. You can go to the wiki. We have all those available. And yeah, with that being said, I think that might be it for us. And
yeah.
And we can send all you guys to one of our great guys. It's helped me actually a lot. We're gonna send you over to Milt. Milt has been a big help for me getting this going, and I just want to give him as much credit as I can. This wouldn't have been possible without him. So yeah, shouts to him. Go say hi to him. We'll be back tomorrow in about 16 hours, and we'll have another spicy race for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.
Good night.